All right, welcome in, everyone. We're diving deep today.
Into some really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, we're tackling the ideas of Linda Wood,
Oh yeah, she's got some interesting perspectives.
for sure, and especially all the stuff she's been talking about around 2025, this big shift.
Right, a global shift really gets you thinking.
It does, and I know a lot of you out there are all about getting to the heart of information quickly.
No fluff, just the good stuff.
Exactly, those aha moments, that's what we're here for, and we want to deliver that without overwhelming anyone.
Right, because she covers so much, from tarot to hidden power dynamics, energy, awakening.
It's a lot. So today we're zeroing in on the key insights from her work on 2025.
What are the core themes? What could it mean for us? We'll break it all down.
Perfect. So let's start with Linda Wood herself, her journey.
Yeah, her sacred awakening, as she calls it.
Right. Even before she was known for her predictions, she was on this big search for meaning.
A true seeker, deep down.
And there's this powerful moment she talks about during a lunar eclipse, drawing the Hermit card.
Wow, what a powerful image, the hermit, alone in the darkness, seeking inner light.
It really is, and she describes it as this turning point, a call to a deeper truth.
You know, it makes you think about how sometimes our own intuition guides us in ways we don't even realize.
Totally. And for her, it wasn't like a lightning bolt. It was more of a gradual unfolding.
Quiet moments, vivid dreams,
Mhm.
symbols popping up everywhere.
Exactly. She started seeing patterns in what seemed like chaos, history repeating itself.
And the tarot, she saw these connections between the cards and what was happening in the world, even in people's souls.
It's fascinating how she weaves it all together, and this personal awakening really became her lens for interpreting everything else.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just about predicting the future with tarot cards. It was deeper.
Right. She talks about translating a certain frequency into language, helping people understand.
And the people drawn to her, she felt they were more than just curious. They were souls ready to activate.
Interesting. So it's like her awakening was a trigger for others to start recognizing their own potential.
Maybe we all have that divine compass inside, waiting to be activated, just like she did.
Okay, so with that as our foundation, let's talk about tarot itself, because I think a lot of people have misconceptions.
Oh yeah, they think it's all about fortune telling, predicting the future.
Right, will I find love? Will I win the lottery? But Linda Wood, she calls tarot a divine mirror. How does that change things?
It's huge. It takes it beyond just predicting events. It becomes about self-discovery.
So instead of saying this will happen, it's more like this is a reflection of where you are, what potential lies within you.
Exactly. It's like a map of your soul, revealing those hidden aspects, different dimensions of understanding.
And the imagery, those ancient symbols, she says they're not random, they're encoded with wisdom, cosmic intelligence.
Right. It's like tapping into this ancient knowledge, the soul's memory. It's incredible.
And she uses such powerful examples like the Fool card.
Oh yeah, not just the beginning of a journey, but a quantum leap of consciousness.
Exactly. And the Tower, often seen as destruction, she calls it liberation from illusion.
Powerful stuff. It's like these cards are keys, unlocking different parts of our being.
Helping us align with that new Earth timeline she talks about.
And she believes that as we evolve, more and more people will be able to understand this language.
Not just intellectually, but intuitively, with that deep inner knowing.
Like the tarot is this bridge between the spiritual and the material, helping us remember who we truly are.
And she sees 2025 as this pivotal year where this ancient wisdom will become accessible to so many.
Not just for mystics, but for everyday people who are ready to awaken to their own extraordinary nature.
Okay, so that leads us to another key concept she brings up, the hidden hands of power.
This is where things get really interesting, those forces working behind the scenes.
Yeah, she talks about these unseen forces that have built systems to keep us disconnected, fearful, and forgetful.
Like they want to keep us asleep, unaware of our true potential.
And she says what they fear most isn't some outward rebellion, it's inner remembrance.
The moment we remember who we truly are, we become uncontrollable.
Right, we break free from those systems of manipulation, and she believes this awakening is spreading like wildfire.
And those power structures built on deception, they can't withstand the light of truth.
They crumble. And she even suggests that these hidden forces, they understand energy maybe even better than we do.
It's like they know that awakened light is powerful, it dismantles illusions, and they're terrified of it.
And she believes that in 2025, this light will reach a critical mass, short-circuiting those old systems.
Financial control, political dominance, even the media narratives, they'll all be affected.
It's not about a violent revolution, she says. It's a silent revolution of the heart.
A shift in consciousness that's ultimately unstoppable. It's encoded in the cosmos, even in our DNA.
And as more people awaken, they naturally step into their own sovereignty, no longer needing those external structures.
This idea of a silent revolution is so powerful, it's like a mass awakening that renders the old ways obsolete.
And it ties back to her point about frequency, right? As our vibration rises, those lower frequencies of manipulation just can't reach us anymore.
Exactly, we outgrow them. And this all culminates in what she calls the great reversal of Earth's energetic polarity.
These cyclical points in history where the dominant energy flips, what was hidden becomes visible, and vice versa.
And she sees 2025 as this major turning point.
So we're shifting from this masculine, control-oriented energy to a more balanced frequency.
Harmony, truth, spiritual power coming to the forefront.
Now, she says it might not be some huge dramatic event on the
But
surface,
we'll feel it deep down in how we respond to things, how we make choices.
like our relationship to fear will change. We'll become more resistant to manipulation.
And those inner voices of truth, the ones that have been silenced for so long, they'll start to get louder.
It's not chaos, she says. It's a sacred correction, a realignment of Earth's energy.
And for those who've been doing the inner work, this is a huge opportunity.
It's like we've been preparing for this, and when that energy shifts, we'll know, we'll feel it. The old ways just won't work anymore.
It's like graduating to a new level of consciousness. And she talks about frequency mastery becoming the new currency.
Right, forget money or status. It's all about our vibration.
Our inner state will determine our influence, what we attract, how we create.
It's like inner work becomes essential, the key to unlocking our potential in this new world.
She calls it spiritual authority. And I love that. It's about aligning with our highest selves.
And she says we'll become more sensitive to energy. People won't be able to hide behind facades anymore.
It'll be all about genuine resonance, authenticity.
Those operating from ego, they'll become transparent. Their words won't hold power.
But those aligned with love, integrity, they'll naturally rise in influence.
This energetic transparency, it's like a universal language. We'll all be able to feel it.
And everyone can tap into this, she says. It's about cultivating our own energetic sovereignty.
Spiritual power becomes accessible to all through practices like breathwork, mindfulness, intention.
It's empowering. We become walking frequency fields, shaping reality by who we are at our core.
So in 2025, our inner alignment becomes our most valuable asset. Our truth becomes our legacy.
Really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? The inner world becomes the outer world.
Absolutely. Now, Linda Wood also had a specific tarot vision for 2025, a sequence of cards that really stood out to her.
Yeah, she talks about it like a cosmic download, a message from the universe.
So the cards were the Tower Reversed, the Star, and the High Priestess.
Wow, that's a powerful combination. Each card carries so much meaning.
And the Tower Reversed, which usually represents upheaval, she doesn't see it as complete destruction.
More like a necessary collapse of systems that aren't built on truth, their foundations dissolving.
And the Star, following the Tower, it's like a beacon of hope emerging from the chaos.
New leaders, healers, visionaries stepping forward to guide us, but not from those old institutions.
They rise from within through remembrance, reclaiming their true purpose and wisdom.
And then the high priestess at the center,
Mhm.
ancient wisdom, intuition, that deep inner knowing awakening within us.
It's so powerful. She sees this sequence not as a prophecy of doom, but as a shift towards truth.
The old falls away to make space for the new, a sacred architecture of what's next.
And she reassures those who are walking in the light. 2025 is not something to fear, but to embrace.
It's a year of release, of divine becoming. And that brings us to the alchemy of awakening.
Right, this idea that we've been conditioned to believe power is about control.
Controlling others, circumstances, trying to force things to go our way.
But the awakening happening now, she says it's about surrender.
Surrendering to a higher consciousness, realizing true strength comes from within.
So it's a shift in perspective, from forcing to flowing, from fear to trust.
It's like an internal alchemy, transforming fear into freedom.
And we'll see this reflected in our lives, people leaving jobs that drain them, ending relationships that no longer serve.
It's not chaos. It's a realignment, guided by that deeper inner knowing.
Every time someone speaks their truth, she says, it shifts the collective energy.
It's a soul movement. And as it gains momentum, those external controls lose their grip.
We step into our own inner mastery, our own power.
Like millions of lights turning on, illuminating the path forward.
And it's not about fighting the old, it's about transcending it, becoming so aligned that the old just falls away.
The power of collective consciousness, right? Individual shifts, creating ripples that transform everything.
So how do we navigate all this change? Linda Wood talks about seeing through the matrix
Waking up to the illusions, recognizing the patterns, the agendas at play.
and reactivating our inner compass, that innate knowing that's been buried under conditioning.
She believes that in 2025, this inner compass is going to be supercharged.
We'll be able to see through the noise, discern truth from falsehood.
Not in a paranoid way, but with clarity, discernment.
It's about shifting from reaction to observation, from blindly following to trusting our own guidance.
A quiet rebellion, she calls it. Unplugging from the matrix and tuning into our own frequency.
And she says this compass works through intuition, those gut feelings, synchronicities, dreams,
We have to learn to listen to those whispers, those nudges from our soul.
because they'll guide us to our right path, help us avoid traps, connect with our tribe, create our own timeline.
So it's not about escaping the world. It's about navigating it with wisdom, becoming the masters of our own experience.
She also talks about light codes within our DNA, this divine reprogramming happening now.
This is where it gets really mind-blowing, the idea that we have this hidden potential encoded within us.
Like a spiritual software upgrade activated by the rising frequencies on Earth.
And she sees 2025 as a key year for this activation, our bodies literally becoming more light-filled.
We might experience physical symptoms as we integrate these new energies, fatigue, dizziness, vivid dreams.
Not signs of illness, but signs of awakening, our system recalibrating to a higher frequency.
And these light codes, she says they unlock incredible gifts, intuition, multidimensional perception, emotional mastery.
It's like we're evolving into a new species, a more spiritually aware version of ourselves.
And she points out that children are being born with these codes already activated. They just know things.
They're showing us the way. And now it's our turn to catch up, to remember who we are.
So this idea of a collective upgrade makes sense of what she says about the designed failure of old systems.
Right, the financial, educational, political systems, they're all unraveling, but it's not random.
She sees it as part of a divine plan, because these systems were built on separation, scarcity, control.
They worked for a while, but they're incompatible with the new energy coming in.
It's like they've reached their expiration date and their collapse is making way for something new.
A divine reconstruction, where we build systems based on unity, sustainability, the wisdom of the heart.
So it might feel chaotic now, but it's a necessary clearing process.
The old has to crumble to make way for the new, and she sees the rise of star seeds and soul architects.
These individuals who are here to guide us through this transition.
The star seeds, they're like envoys from other realms, carrying ancient wisdom, here to help Earth ascend.
And the soul architects, they're the builders, the visionaries, creating new systems from the ground up.
They're not trying to fix the old. They're starting fresh, operating from a higher consciousness.
And she says they're not special, they're just reflecting the potential that lies within us all.
It's inspiring, seeing them step forward, showing us what's possible.
And then there's quantum emotion, this idea that our emotions are powerful creative forces.
He says emotion is the frequency that shapes reality. Our feelings give life to our thoughts.
So mastering our emotions becomes essential. Learning to transmute fear into awareness, anger into boundaries.
It's emotional alchemy, becoming conscious creators of our experience.
And she says the heart is key. It's the most powerful electromagnetic organ in the body.
It communicates with the quantum field. So when our heart is aligned with our intentions, magic happens.
We attract the right people, opportunities, timelines, and she calls 2025 a quantum junction.
A point where multiple timelines become accessible, and our choices determine which path we take.
Every thought, every feeling, every action is a vote for the reality we want to experience.
There are lower frequency timelines of fear and scarcity, and higher frequency timelines of love and abundance.
It's up to us, individually and collectively, to choose which world we want to live in.
And this is why inner work is so crucial. It's about raising our vibration, aligning with our highest selves.
Because we're not just along for the ride, we're active participants in this unfolding story.
And finally, she brings it all back to the tarot with the idea of energetic portals and cosmic invitations.
She sees the tarot as this living grid woven into the planet's energy, each card a gateway to a different frequency.
The Fool's Journey, the Tower's Breakdown, the Empress's Creation, they're not just symbols, they're lived experiences.
And as we become more aware of these archetypes, we can consciously navigate the energies they represent.
She believes that in 2025, the tarot will become even more potent, guiding us towards our true path.
It'll be like a roadmap for the soul, speaking to us through dreams, synchronicities, intuition.
And she talks about the rise of awakened leaders, a new kind of leadership emerging.
Not about power or control, but about love, truth, and service.
These are the people who will guide us through this transition, not by force, but by example.
Their power comes from within, from their connection to source, and their purpose is to help others awaken.
It's a beautiful vision. Leadership based on integrity, compassion, wisdom.
And she reminds us that this prophecy is already happening every time we choose love, every time we share our gifts.
We're all part of this shift. And finally, she speaks of a return to Earth's divine balance.
The reemergence of the sacred feminine, those qualities of intuition, nurturing, connection.
It's not about gender, but about frequency, a balancing of the masculine and feminine within and without.
We're seeing this in the rise of practices like midwifery, herbalism, a focus on well-being and harmony.
The divine feminine is both nurturing and powerful. It's about birthing a new world through love.
So how do we prepare for all this? Linda Wood says it's about inner work, stabilizing our light.
Practices like grounding, heart alignment, energetic protection become essential.
It's about finding our center, anchoring ourselves in the midst of change.
Simple things like breath work, journaling, being in nature, they become our spiritual tools.
Because as the energy intensifies, those who are grounded and aligned will navigate it with grace.
And ultimately, she reminds us that we chose to be here at this time for a reason.
We are co-creators of the new earth, and it's happening now through our choices, our actions, our intentions.
It won't be perfect, but it will be real, it'll be built on love, and it will be sustainable.
So 2025, as Linda Wood sees it, is not a year to fear, but a year to embrace, a year of awakening.
It's a call to step into our power, to align with our truth, to be the change we want to see in the world.
And as you move forward, listen to your inner compass, those whispers of wisdom within.
Trust your intuition, explore these ideas, and remember, you are not alone in this journey.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, keep awakening.
And keep shining your light.